show, Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM KTRC and 1037 FM, Santa Fe News Talk Leader. We have a fantastic show today because we have a good friend of mine back, Danny Russ McBride. Welcome back, Danny Russ.
Thank you.
And when Danny was on before, I don't even remember when, but probably about a year ago, we went through his art career and his art side, and you know, the whole ARTFusion thing started because so many of the customers that come into Artisan at the front counter that are visual artists have a musical side too. We haven't really ever explored Danny Russ's musical side, but we are today because we got a rolling keyboard sitting here, and we're going to explore every bit about Danny Russ McBride. So what do you got going on song-wise?
This first song was, I saw the cover of Sinead O'Connor was on the cover of Rolling Stone years ago when her career first started, and it was a beautiful cover. And I wrote this song for her. It's about Sinead. It's called Sinead's Song.
Has she ever heard it? No. Not yet. Well, maybe
not yet.
Maybe she's listening to the radio. Who knows?
This is for you, Sinead. There's a face on the cover of this magazine.
get it to her?
I'll find them.
You never know.
I got connections.
Okay, well, this is now podcast forever on SantaFe.com. So she needs to just tune into SantaFe.com and find ARTFusion, and there she goes. Beautiful song.
Thank you, Ron.
You know, Danny used to teach at the Artisan Expo, and he's taught classes here, and I think a lot of people in the art community. How long have you been in Santa Fe?
34 something years.
34 years, and I don't think people know your music side as well, but let me just read a little bit. Danny Russ McBride, member of the National Academy of Songwriters and the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers, was born in Stafford, Arizona in 1952. He studied piano at the age of 6, already singing for family gatherings and church choirs. He attended Arizona State University, which I did too. In the Phoenix Symphony as a guest vocalist. Worldwide travel as a model, led to forming his own group, Duncan McBride, in Los Angeles. Following his creative instinct, he moved to New Mexico, appeared in the chorus of Santa Fe in productions such as the title role in Don Giovanni. Special concert events at the Armory of the Arts, the Sheridan and Quail Run. So music's been a major part of your life.
Yes, at ASU I studied classical. I studied classical vocals.
Did you used to go in the music center and go all those grand pianos that they used to have open?
Yeah.
You could go in one door and play this big old grand, and then you go in another door and play this little spin it, and then another door you go in another grand. I used to spend a lot of time just hopping pianos in there.
Yeah, me too. But I studied classical, as far as my voice, and then after when I went to Hollywood, I studied with these teachers, Lee and Sally Sweetland, and they kept saying you could have a career in opera, and I was going, yeah, that would be great, but I want to do my own music, and I've always been that way. I wanted to do it my own way, and there's some beautiful arias that I love,
yeah.
But for the most part, opera to me is, well, it's incredible, but I didn't choose to go that route.
Okay.
I chose to write my own music. And
what was this Duncan McBride group about? What kind of music were you guys doing? Where did you play out? Or?
We played in Westwood at, what was the name of the place? We had a gig there on Friday nights.
Yeah.
And
drums, guitar, bass, keyboards.
I was on keyboards. Charlene Duncan and her husband. Charlene was the recording artist of Motown, and Nancy Leviska, who was a friend that I met when I first got there. I got hooked up with that whole Motown crowd and got to know all of them.
How cool is that?
And so it was like we got this gig in Westwood. I can't remember the name of the place. It was on the top of this high rise. And
yeah.
It was a popular place. But yeah, those days were incredible for me.
Were you thinking back then that you were going to take music as your career more than the visual arts?
Well, at that time I was focusing more on my music, but I've always had a love affair with the woman I call music.
Yeah.
And the woman I call art.
Okay.
My whole life.
So you've been two-timing your whole life.
Yeah, and
okay.
at certain yeah.
Excellent.
And she's cool with that both ways. But sometimes I've spent more time with my music, and sometimes I've spent more time with my art.
We're going to explore Danny Russ McBride's art and music side. When we come back, you're listening to ARTFusion, the art music radio show, Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM KTRC and 103.7 FM. Hang on, we'll be back with another song.
Thanks, Ray.
Yeah, cool.
Do you have a CD?
Amazing you appeared, because we were just talking, and we had band practice last night, and John goes, "Is she Derek?" I said, "No, I don't know where Derek is."
Not yet.
We did Reason and Rhyme, and we were needing you. Anyway.
I just got back from LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good trip. Okay.
Yeah, I just have to say that, I haven't played my music probably for 10 years, at least.
At all?
At all. And the last year I've been missing it. I've been really missing it.
Well, I'm glad this spurred you to get back in.
And
Sounds great.
that's when I saw you. I saw the ad that you were looking for people to do this.
Okay.
And I went, okay, I'm gonna call Ron and see if I can get in on it because I want to start doing my music again. I really was missing it. And
No, your voice is beautiful. Your song's beautiful.
but it's different. I don't have the extension with my hands because of arthritis.
Yeah.
I almost had a meltdown 4 days ago
Oh, really?
because suddenly my hands were hurting. They weren't, I'd reach for an octave and it would go to the, not an octave that I'm used to. And I thought, what the hell did I commit to? I'm putting myself out there.
Well, maybe this will make you stretch your hands back out again.
Yeah,
This is therapy.
And as of yesterday, they stopped hurting.
Your hands?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I'm still kind of rusty because it's been so long since I've played the keyboard, but I'm ready to do it.
That's great.
And
We're going to come back on. Do you got the transpose? Are you good with the song and the key and everything?
The transpose, and I'm playing on a different keyboard, which is great.
Yeah.
It's okay because
Is it all good?
it's all good.
Okay.
Let's see, I gotta get the transpose down.
Yeah, we're going to come. Yeah, we got to go right back into the song.
Okay, this goes down. This goes.
Good? All right. And we are back. You're listening to ARTFusion, the Art and Music Radio Show, Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM, KTRC, and 103.7 FM, Santa Fe News Talk Leader. I'm Ron Whitmore. Just a reminder that we record this live on Thursdays at Artisan, the art supply store on Cerrillos Road. And we have a really good friend of mine, Russ McBride, who has taught art at our art school that we've had. He's taught at our expo. We're going to get into the art side of him too, because it's really cool what he was doing with his action chamber. He had this action chamber tent that you'd go in and just throw paint around. But we're exploring his music side, and we have a rolling keyboard, and you sound great, Danny. So what do you got going on? You got another song for us?
I got 2 more songs for you. But this one's called "Bathe Me in Your Love," and here we go.
Okay.
This song I wrote quite a while ago. And,
Okay.
It's about relationship and how relationships change and how you move on.
Yeah.
All that kind of thing, but you never forget the love and the good times and the stuff that meant a lot.
Yeah, very cool.
Let's start again.
Okay.
We changed, but love remains. with the memory of a simpler place and time. I was yours and you were mine. We lay beneath the stars. Every dream was ours. Out on the edge of this chasm, my heart has led me to a precipice so scary. It's the start of losing you. Baby, your love wash me with the memory of a simpler place and time. I was yours and you were mine as we lay beneath the stars. Every dream was ours. Beg me, love, wash me with the memory of a simpler place and time. I was yours and you were mine as we lay beneath the stars, dreaming dreams that once were ours. You'll always be wonder. You'll always be my friend. Your water in my river until the very end. Baby, your love wash me with the memory of all the things that we've been through. I found myself, but I miss you as I lay beneath the stars, dreaming dreams that once were ours.
Beautiful. Danny Russ McBride. So for those of you that are listening on the radio that aren't watching the video that heard what was going on during the break, you were saying that you really haven't been playing your music that much in the last 10 years. You've kind of put it to the side.
Yeah, and I just started missing it so much the last month or so. Well, the last year actually.
What do you feel when you're playing that song? What do you feel the emotion still? Or who you wrote it for? Or?
Yeah, I feel, you know, it was weird that came, you know, when emotions come up in your performing, you try to use them and not let them, you know, engulf the performance, but sometimes it does, and this song just takes me back to that time.
I could see it in your face. I could see when you were singing it that you were in a different place. Yeah, that's a great gift that I think songwriting has, is your emotions are tied into it when you're writing a song and when you actually perform it or play it back. sometimes those emotions flow back out of the same emotions you were feeling when the song was coming to you.
Yeah.
And I could see it in your whole being that you were feeling it.
Well, what's interesting too, getting these songs out again after so long, I started looking at them. I had, because of where I'm at now,
Yeah.
I changed some of the words.
Okay, yeah, you looked at it from a different viewpoint.
Yeah, because I've grown in my maturity and my experience, and so some of the words didn't quite work.
They were at a different stage of life.
Yeah.
Immature.
At that point, I thought they worked, but seeing them now,
Yeah.
after having not, it's like, you know, I compare songwriting to abstract art. You know, you take it back, you take a song, the words back to the bare essential. There can't be any words that are, you know, unnecessary.
Yeah.
To express what you want to express in the song. Same with an abstract painting.
For those of you that don't know, Danny Russ McBride, besides a keyboard and songwriter, is also an abstract artist. He has a studio that he teaches at up on Upper Canyon Road. I just want to read a quote that I got off your website. You will achieve your highest creative potential if you allow yourself to be as wild and free as you dare. May you be fueled by spontaneity and innocence and care little about what people think about you. Paint a lot, play a lot, and laugh often. Be the amazing, blazing, uninhibited being that you are. Just real quickly, at the expo that Danny taught, he had an action chamber, which was this tent. And you went in this tent and you started throwing paint around, and it was just uninhibited, crazy, and people had the best time. But we have to take a break. You're listening to ARTFusion, the Art Music Radio Show, Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM KTRC. We'll be right back with another song from Danny Russ McBride. Hang on.
Thank you.
Saka was getting ready to throw something.
Here. It's under.
What do you throw? A shoe?
Get her what? A Nerf gun?
That's what they do on The Voice. If somebody's really good, some of the judges, the women judges start throwing their shoes or whatever. I've been watching those shows because it's amazing the talent out there. God. It's on a high level.
Well, that's the incredible thing about me doing this show for a year. It's just the talent in Santa Fe of musicians, and it's
I know.
crazy.
It's like there's so many unsung talented musicians and talented artists that people don't even know about.
Yeah. It's very true.
But that's true everywhere. I mean, and it's the younger generations now that are coming up, and they get on stage and they sing the song like a mature, like 35, 40-year-old woman, and they ask her, you know, she's 14.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, where I'm at now with all of this, with the music and the art, is to inspire the younger generations to keep pursuing their dream.
Yeah.
No matter, because I'm, in 2 years I'll be 70 years old, which doesn't compute with me. But it's like, if you want to do it enough, you're never too old or too young. If you want to do something,
Yeah.
and you want to really get into it and do it every day.
Why many creative people get older? Bill Worrell's 86 years old, and he just was putting all these watercolors that he's doing, and it's like
There's a point where you don't care. You just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, with this, you got to have your chops in order.
Yeah.
You got to rehearse. And that's why I was having this meltdown at the beginning of the week or whatever last week. Going, I need another month to rehearse.
It sounds great.
Thank you.
So we're going to come back on. Is everything transposed right? And have you got your song and all that ready to rock?
I have a bunch of cowboy songs that I want to.
Yeah, whatever you want.
That I have rearranged because a lot of them don't. There's like Home on the Range. There's these verses people's never heard.
Yeah.
And Tumbling Tumbleweeds, on and on. But I want to. My father passed away last year, and one of the songs I want to dedicate a song to him, "Middle of Sunshine."
Okay. We'll come back on with that one. And you still got one more song. You got another one. Yeah, you got one more song. We're not going to inhibit your music. Okay, you ready? Is the keyboard good for you? Transpose and all that? Yeah, very good. Okay. And we are back. You're listening to ARTFusion, the art music radio show, Saturday at noon. Talk 1260 AM KTRC and 103.7 FM, Santa Fe News Talk Leader. Just a quick reminder for those of you that wonder about the Artisan Expo that we do out at Buffalo Thunder starting on September 25th. It is blowing and going. We've sold out a lot of the hotel block on the first day and the last day. ExpoArtisan.com. We got 100 workshops, 3 hour, 6 hour. A couple are longer than that, but these are on everything from acrylic, silver jewelry, oil pastel, oil painting, you name it. We got classes in it. Check out ExpoArtisan.com because a lot of the classes will fill up. So check it out, and if you're interested, these are affordable, easy, even if you're not an artist. Come on out and get your art side going on. So we have Russ McBride here, and Danny has another song. You were saying that your father passed on, and this is a song that was...
My father passed on last year, and this is a song he used to sing me when I was a little child, and he'd also play on the harmonica. He played the harmonica, and it's called "You Are My Sunshine," and so I'm dedicating this to him because I know he's up there saying, "Go for it, you did it."
Cool.
And so here we go with "You Are My Sunshine," my own arrangement. Don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine. take my sunshine. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Beautiful. That goes out to Danny's dad. Yeah. He used to sing that song to you?
Yeah, he wouldn't sing those other lyrics.
Did you make those lyrics or those?
No, those are. It was originally written by Jimmy Davis.
Okay.
And those are. There's another verse I didn't sing, but it's a really interesting song. People have analyzed it and tried to figure out what every word means and why he wrote what he did.
Yeah. How does your songwriting process work? How do you compose a song? You say you
So, it depends. I mean, I always carry a sketchbook, and sometimes I'll write lyrics or I'll write something that comes to me, and I have pieces of lyrics that go to a song that I'm still writing music.
Yeah. You were classically trained, classical piano?
Not piano. I just accompanied myself. I was classically trained vocally.
Oh, okay. So you just picked up piano. You take piano lessons when you were a kid?
I took piano lessons when I was a kid, but I could always play by ear.
Okay.
So I'd start playing these stupid songs the piano teachers would give me. Usually they were hymns from the hymn book. And I'd go, God, I hate this arrangement. So I'd play my own arrangement of some hymn.
Uh-huh.
And my
Just
mom,
by ear?
Huh?
Just by ear?
Just by ear. I could always play by ear. I thought I could do a better arrangement than this one out of the hymn book, and my mom would cut off to me and say, Danny, can't you ever do something the way it's supposed to be done?
Well, I think that transfers over to your art too, because I've been up to your studio on Upper Canyon Road, and I mean, I would say you're probably one of the least inhibited artists. I mean, you just go for it. In fact, last time I was up at your studio, we were filming a video, and I came back and I had paint all over my boot. You were throwing paint around. It's true.
I still throw it around, but I mean, that process is changing too. I don't, it's...
Let's talk about your art, because what's been going on with your visual art? We got a piece here, if you're looking at the Facebook page of Artisan.
That's a piece that I did years ago. That little
right down here.
One of my newer pieces.
The glitter,
I'm calling it geobling.
Geobling?
Geobling,
Okay.
because with the layers of acrylic, as a base, acrylic is like glue. And I'll just start and add sand. I've still got my beach up there of sand and glitter. And
You rent that place or do you own that place?
I rent it.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, and it's
Because there was more stuff on that floor than...
Oh, well, it's all, it can all be,
It can all be clean. It can all be sandblasted.
I got rubber mats on the floor.
Oh, okay, all right, so there's protection down.
But yeah, I build up layers, and now what I'm doing is, I'm using, as I build up the layers, I gouge through and scratch through, and I have a hosing area outside, and I go blast the layer that I just put on before it completely dries and bring the previous layer through. All the techniques I use the results surprise me.
Okay. Are you still teaching up there? Because you were teaching classes or individuals on how to loosen up or how to...
Yeah, I had full days of sometimes 3 people a day up until a couple years ago. And everything changed. There's one person that comes up there now. And I'm having to reconfigure how I'm going to keep the studio.
Okay.
And how I'm going to do everything like a lot of people are now. Because the world has changed so much. People are changing, and
People aren't throwing paint around or wanting lessons, or what's changed? Because
Yeah, I mean, I still throw paint around when I'm up there painting. I paint it myself. I have some commissions I'm working on.
Okay.
And but as far as how it was, it's not like that anymore. As far as 3 people coming up there every day to mentor.
Yeah. Well, if people want to look at your art or get in contact with you, is it danmcbrideart.com?
Yes.
danmcbrideart.com, and that has how to get in contact with you if someone is thinking, because I think you'd be the perfect person for someone who's intimidated by a lot, but they know they can get their paint side out, because you just encourage them to express themselves without any inhibition and just go for it.
Well, the big question has always been, how do I start? How do I start?
And we're going to get back with that as soon as we come back. You're listening to Art Fusion, the art music radio show, Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM KTRC. We'll be right back with Danny Russ McBride. Hang on.
Thank you. I started using Danny Russ McBride because that's my birth name.
Well, I like it.
And
it flows.
It's, yeah, because there's several other Danny McBrides that are, if you look it up, it's artists, there's a film producer, but after my father's death, I realized, yeah, I'm gonna go with my birth name. That's the birth name he gave me. And
Yeah, no, it's
so I'm
I like it.
gonna do another one that's DannyRussMcBride.com. Another.
Yeah.
Call that.
No, it flows. It's got a good feel to it. I like it. You look Danny Russ McBride.
I didn't like when I was young. I thought, why didn't they give me Daniel? You know,
A more formal?
name, but
Oh, okay.
now I like it.
Well, I went by Ronnie all the way through high school. Ronnie Whitmore. And except when I was in trouble, then it was Ronald. Ronald, get that snake back in the cave, Ronald.
Yeah. Well, I was always Danny. I mean, and people that I've known, for a long time since I was a kid. There's a few people that come visit me that and they call me Danny.
Well, on this section is the last section. We're actually on the last, so you've got one more song, and you're going to take us out with it. So we'll just go back into the radio program and talk just like we are now for a little while, and then you'll take us out with the song. So you got one more, whatever you'd like to do.
I'm gonna try this one. Let's see.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. And we are back. You're listening to Art Fusion, the art music radio show, Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM KTRC and 103.7 FM, Santa Fe News Talk Leader. We are talking with Danny Russ McBride, and if you're just tuning in, a lot of people, Danny's been here for over 30 years in Santa Fe. He's been teaching on Upper Canyon Road. He's got this really cool studio. If you go all the way out on Upper Canyon Road and you hook the left in that complex that has all those really cool studios. And I've been up there. We filmed a video on Danny years ago, and he's still up there teaching. Are you looking for students? Would you want?
Yes.
Okay, so let's put this out on the radio. And what are the qualifications? Do they have to have had art lessons?
You don't have to have any experience at all. You can be, I've taught kids, which I love teaching because they don't have any agenda as far as the rules. They just go for it. And that's what I'm trying to do at this point in my life, is get back to that child mindset. And that's what I encourage with everybody. And it's like, yeah, I need some people up there I'd like some people up there to come and work with me. I like the energy that's exchanged when two artists or three artists are working up there together, even if there's not anything being said. You hear the brushwork, and you encourage each other to keep working.
Now, when you were teaching for us at Buffalo Thunder, we assembled a tent in one of the rooms there, and you had people go in with this tent, and the tent was really just to confine the paint, because you were uninhibited, and I mean, you've taught in the front here, and I think there's probably still some paint on the ceiling or the wall somewhere, but your action chamber kind of contained the paint. And so how do you teach people to lose loosen up? How do like let's say I'm an uptight accountant. Not that all accountants are uptight. And I'm coming to teach you to teach me to paint. How are you going to teach me to paint?
Well, one of the big things that people ask me is, how do I get started? Well, get your canvas up or whatever you're going to paint on. You got to get paint out, and whatever you're going to use, brushes, sticks. You can paint with anything.
Yeah.
But you got to have that out and get started. Start putting paint on the canvas, and don't worry about how it's going to look, because it will be a work in process and progress until it's finished.
Well, that's one thing I saw on your website too, because I was reading some of your philosophies, and part of it was getting that critical mind out of the way, right?
It's so important. It's called a mind, F-U-C-K.
Yeah.
And, it comes up for me too, but I've learned to go, it goes, oh, that's not good. What do you, and I go, bye-bye, leave me alone, I'm busy painting.
Getting rid of that critical voice. You use that with your music too?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was saying to you, it's interesting how writing songs for me is like abstract painting. Because abstract painting, when you finally finish it, you get rid of all the things that are not necessary for the painting to be a successful painting.
Yeah.
Same as in a song. If, the lyrics, you need to get rid of whatever lyrics you don't need, the bare minimum of what needs to be there to express what you're feeling.
Yeah. Well, you said an interesting point too that I think people that aren't musicians wouldn't realize, is that when you come back and every time you play a song, you're playing it differently. In any group you play with, you play it differently, and you look at it at a different age that you are, and you go back something you wrote 5 or 10 years ago, you see it differently, you change it, you're in a different place, and that song kind of evolves along with you. Is that work in your painting too? I mean, have you looked at your...
Yeah. I mean, it's, it's always, every painting is different. Every painting, like every time you approach a new painting, it's like, I just get into it.
Yeah.
And I don't wait to be inspired to start a painting. If I did that, I'd never do a painting. I get inspired as the process starts happening.
You were saying things changed. That just fascinated me. What has changed at Santa Fe in the last? Are you saying Santa Fe's changed? The art scene's changed? The world's changed? What are you talking about?
Everything. I think social media has changed.
Yeah.
As you know, the art scene, music business, everything. But that started happening a while ago. But as of the last couple of years, the world has got really bizarre. And, it's like people are feeling it whether they're conscious of it or not.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people I was teaching that were coming up to my studio have retired, and they're going, we better hold on to our money, and we don't know what, and they stopped coming up to my studio because of the money. Not that I charge a fortune, my prices are very reasonable, but
Well, Danny, we only have time for one more song. We'd love to hear another song, but I'm going to encourage people, and I mean this in sincerity, if you think that you want to throw paint around and that there's an artist inside of you crying to come out, I couldn't think of a better person to get you started than Danny Russ McBride. And if you want to get in contact with him, go to danmcbrideart.com. You can find out how to contact him. He's on Upper Canyon Road. And if you have never thrown paint around, never touched a brush, never experienced it, I think you'd be the perfect person to get him going. So let's get you some students, and can you play us another song?
Absolutely.
It's nice to explore your music side too. You sound great, man.
Thank you. This one is called Surveillance, and it's
Surveillance?
Surveillance, yes.
We just got a surveillance system here with 12 cameras, so. Okay.
I guess some people may think it's about stalking somebody, but it's not.
So if you're shoplifting in the camera section, we see you over there.
Surveillance, studying the view. Surveillance, surveillance of you. Surveillance, watching everything you do. When I'm with you, the hours are too few. Surveillance. When I'm away from you, this vigil sees me through. Surveillance. That was a weird key change. Surveillance, surveillance of you. Surveillance, searching for a clue. Surveillance, surveillance of you. Surveillance, you're the course I lock onto. In camouflage I go. Surveillance. When I'm away from you, I can't play this very well because I haven't rehearsed it very much.
Oh, you got the main gist of it.
Surveillance. I'm trying to get the chorus. Let's see.
Just word it.
Surveillance. I just changed keys. Surveillance, surveillance of you. Surveillance, surveillance of you. Watching everything you do. Surveillance, searching for a clue. Surveillance.
All right. Danny Russell does. I think we ought to play that at Artisan all the time, and then people know they're under surveillance. I hope your neighbors aren't worried on Upper Canyon Road if they see you in the window now going, surveillance of me.
I'll rehearse it some more so I can play it.
Danny, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure. Your music is as beautiful as your art, and it's great to get that side out of you.
Thank you, Ron, for this opportunity to share my music. It's been a challenge, and it's been an exciting challenge for me, and I will continue rehearsing.
Very cool. You're listening to ARTFusion, the Art Music Radio Show, Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 AM, KTRC, and 103.7 FM. We'll be back next week.